held the basketball up. And getting that second delay of game, allowing Donovan Mitchell to get back to the free throw line and cash in on it. And now the lead back up to 19 for the Cavaliers.
9-1 Cavs run. Mitchell has 37 points. Strus battling against the pressure, gets it up to Mitchell. Mitchell soars in, cups it home. Throw for another 40-point night. Misses.
And it is a who's who on that list.
40 points for Donovan Mitchell. In the biggest game of the season for Cleveland, facing a 2-0 hole, their superstar delivers.
And a great play defensively by Donovan Mitchell, getting over and taking away the roller. Not just tagging, but coming up with the steal, running through the passing lane of Miles Turner.
Mitchell soaring in, gets fouled again. Rick Carlisle's going to empty the bench. With 5 minutes to go here in Game 3, knowing it is not going to be his team's night.
On the floor. Rick Carlisle is not waving the white flag. He's sending a message right now that this game is going to be played physical, that he's going to get James Johnson on the floor to make sure that he shows his teammates and the Cleveland Cavaliers what physical is all about.
It's a great point. Donovan Mitchell has 13 of the last 16 for
you. He is not going to leave here with fouls in his pocket.
Kenny Atkinson earlier in the series felt like there was excessive physicality from Indiana. Allen's push shot no good, and Mobley gets
getting your guys out of the game, resting them, and making sure they don't get injured. But if you're Kenny Atkinson right now, I don't think that you're even.
And Mobley hits both. A 16-1 Cleveland run. After Indiana had this building popping and cut it to 11 with 8:22 to go. James Johnson gets fouled, and data for that goes back to.
And that is the reason, or one of the reasons, that I've said that he's the MVP of this year's season. He won the plus-minus battle. We won't even call it a battle. He won the plus-minus contest by over 300 points to the next best player in the NBA throughout this season. If there's one thing that shows how valuable you are, not just to your team, but to the league, it would be that number.
Here is Mathurin. Pacers getting ready to empty the rest. Mathurin on the floor in this Game 3. Mathurin with 23 off the bench for Indiana. Here's Mitchell. Gets fouled again.
50 seconds remaining.
When you multiply that over a few times.
Multiply that by 344.
Yeah.
He still isn't comfortable at this point, I believe. Donovan Mitchell looks at Darius Garland and says, go sit down. Knowing that he's dealing with the toe, whatever it may be. And Darius is looking back at him like, no. And he's saying, go to the bench. Darius walks off the court like the little brother who had made go home from the park. Couldn't stay and play anymore.
Bryant thunders it down. Ty Jerome now waiting at the scorer's table. He presumably will come and get Donovan Mitchell. Mitchell with another 40-plus point performance. 43 so far tonight. Mitchell going for a little more. The kick, Wade. Allen another board, his 12th. Throws it into the backcourt, and the turnover will get Mitchell out of the...
To take his starters off the floor.
Yeah, I mean, you look at Strus, 20 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists. Mobley, 18 and 13. Allen, 19 and 12. Okoro the steal, and gets
well within Kenny Atkinson's system. But in game 3, when it's a must-win game for you, you're going to shorten that rotation.
This one, not a part of the rotation. Kenny Atkinson going with 9 with Jerome Hunter, Wade, and Merrill off the bench. And a move that worked for Kenny Atkinson, as did his timing of going zone in that second quarter. Cleveland had jumped down to a 25-10 lead. Indiana stormed back, tied it at 32 at the end of the first. But then Cleveland went zone in the second and totally stymied the Pacers offense, held them to 13 points in the second, outscored them by 21. And the Cavs have controlled the game since.
James Johnson coming up with the block, already getting a bucket earlier on the last possession, showing he can still play. He's not just on this roster to be. It would not be shocked at all if we saw in game 4 James Johnson getting into the rotation.
Corey, I'm so glad that you brought it up about James Johnson, because from the very beginning of this game, all eyes, all ears have been paying attention to what James has been saying in these huddles. He has a complete trust from his teammates, and the coaches also allow him to take over the huddles in moments that are big.
Yeah, Angel, he's one of those coaches on the floor, one of those, culture guys, and Rick Carlisle trusts him tremendously to deliver the proper message to his teammates, and he can deliver it in a manner that's different from the way the coaches can give it to him.
Devontae Green